Kitakaze, the Japanese Tier 9 gunboat, big sister to the Akazuki, is in a random battle on the Sea of Fortune against Tiers 8, 9, and 10. We have one submarine, two destroyers, three cruisers, five battleships, and one aircraft carrier on each side. Now, I have spawned closest to Charlie Cap, so I'll go in its general area and harass it, but it's a very small cap, and I am either going to be seeing the Paolo Emilio or the Scon when I get there. Now, Paolo Emilio, also known as the YOLO Emilio, because those ships love to take YOLO runs. You only live once runs at battleships. High-speed runs in their smoke, and then they throw torps into the side of a battleship and then run off laughing. However, they oftentimes get blapped on the way, and that's why they're called YOLO. Anyway, it has good guns, throws SAP, semi-armor piercing shells that cause a lot of damage to destroyers in a hurry. And I am detected by the CV's airplanes. So I was trying to fake him out, make him think that I was going to go around the back of the island to make him give the opposing DD the idea that maybe I wasn't going right into the cap. Alright, well, I've dodged the worst of the rockets and the shells coming from the other ships. And now I'll go back toward the cap. I can see that there are... My RPF is showing that there's something off to my right. However, I also have Baltimore straight up in front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just touch the cap and then try to get myself out of there right away. Ooh, some torps on the way. Pretty fast torps. I don't know if those are Paolo Emilios. I think those might be Scon torps. Scon is a... Oop, there's that radar. Okay, as soon as I touched the cap, I expected it. Alright, he might get a couple shots in on me, but I can dodge Baltimore torps pretty well. And then I'll be outside his radar range in just a bit. Okay, took some damage, but pretty minimal damage. Anyway, Scon is a Tier 8 cruiser. Its big sister at Tier 10 is going to be the Howland. Known for having very, very fast torps. Throws out torps at 15 kilometers. Now, Scons are only 10 kilometers, but she's getting around on the side here, and I'm pointing her out to the Brandenburg, who is pushing in a little bit close here, hopefully protected, but okay, there is a lot of activity on this cap right now. We've got Georgia, Jean Bart, Pomeran, the Baltimore, of course, and then the DD that's back behind us. So I'm throwing those torps in the direction of the Georgia, and then I'm expecting her to come buzzing right in here. They're a very high-speed battleship that she can totally catch me. However, I have almost gone nose into this island and I don't have much room to maneuver. So what I'm going to do is pop my smoke as soon as she's getting closer to me. Then I can use my engine boost to get out of here if I need to. She dodged my torps. Oh, good. Okay, well, popped that Baltimore a good one and got really lucky. Okay. Well, totally missed the Georgia, but at least I don't have to worry about Baltimore popping radar and everybody catching me out right here. So I'll take my shots on the Georgia. Try to light a fire. There's one. Okay. Got a fire on there. Already. Damage controlled him. Oh, JB is pushing right in on me too. Going to be very, very close. This is going to be close to getting inside my smoke firing penalty range. Smoke won't hide me then. Okay, well, I've got a minute before I get any torpedoes, so... Oh, I was planning on running, but she's turned out. Those torps are going to get her. Okay. I'll go back inside my smoke for a little bit longer. Okay, so far we've lost Brandenburg, Chapayev, Zara, and their sub. They've only lost the Baltimore and the JB. My smoke's running out. Time for me to leave. Have the cap, but now here's Palmer moving around behind my Alsace, who is going to be in trouble. And he's down. Darn. I don't know where the shores came from. Okay. Palmer is pushing down into Charlie Cap between those islands. He has 6-kilometer hydro, and if he's smart, he's running it right now. I will try to get another set of torps into him right now. But chances are low of hitting him if he is running his hydro, and he saw those other torps go by, so if he had it available, he's running it. However, he's a Pomeran B, which means that maybe he hasn't had a lot of experience driving his Pomeran. He did take some torps from somebody. Looks like he's going to take 1 or 2 of mine. Yes, okay, 2. Now, let's see if we can light him up. Oh, good. Okay. Dang. But then we lost our aircraft carrier to that Pomeran. For some reason, the carrier got in way too close. Not sure what he was doing. I didn't even notice him close to us. Well, that put us in a very bad situation. They've got a couple of ships that are really low, but I don't know if there's anything we're going to be able to do about this. Alright, I am taking fire from somebody that just stole Charlie Cap from us. Looks like the Scon got in there. There he is. Okay. Now I can take Scon in a gunfight. Although I think they get a heal. I might be wrong. Oh, something's back there behind me. It's the shores. Dang. Okay. Shores is a light Russian cruiser, and they can do a lot of damage to me, and I don't have much left to work with. If they light me on fire, I'm going to be done. Okay, 1 second left on my detect. Yeah, okay, he overshot me. I lucked out. Okay, love to be able to put shots back in on him, but the reality is, even if he were to get lucky and blind fire me, I don't think I could take too much. I've got about 2,000 HP left here. One good salvo and I'll go down, at least from the shores. I think I can take a couple from the scon. Alright, I'm going to circle around. Nothing is spotted right now, and try to give the Alaska and the Awami something to shoot at. Maybe they can hit that shores. Getting my torps ready. Now the shores, looks like he is almost nose up to that island. Oh, there's gone. Alright. We'll see if maybe I can get lucky and tag him. Then I'm going to send one back toward the shores. It looks to me like he's throttle juking. He goes forward a little bit, then he goes backward a little bit, so might get lucky here. Okay, take my shots at the scon. It is a little bit tricky with Kitakaze's guns to hit something as small as a destroyer at any kind of range. My shell arcs are very loopy, as we call it. High shell arcs. They're not as bad as my USN destroyers like the Fletcher, which can even struggle to hit battleships at range, but that scon wasn't all that far away, and I was still having a hard time getting range. Oh, nice! Alright, Dev struck the shores. Alright, well that means Charlie Cap is pretty much open. I still have my 2,000 HP left. Go on into Charlie Cap. We don't have much left to work with. I have the Alaska, the Awami, and me, and 5 of them. One of them is low health Georgia and low health Scon, but Lexington and the submarine are full health, and the Ibuki, the cruiser, is nearly full health. So it's going to be tough, very, very tough. And Georgia's done some healing since the last time we saw her, I think. Love to be able to get some torps into the Georgia. We'll see. Darn it. There's the carrier. Running that engine boost now. Get me into Charlie Cap as soon as I can. Carrier. Oh, the Ibuki got our Alaska. Now the carrier is working on our Awami. Goodness. Oh, there's the scon. Okay. Switching to guns. Looks to me like he's been doing some healing. So I think they do get a heal. But it's not going to help him now. One more. There. Okay. He's down. Alright. Well, Ibuki can see me. Clear as a bell. Oh, shoot. Yep. Bummer. Well, let's look at those after battle stats. Ended up with over 127,000 in damage, so that's pretty good, even for a Japanese gunboat. 204 target hits, 137 full pins, but 67 of them non-pins. Probably when I was shooting at those battleships, I was hitting their gun mounts or something. 5 torpedoes that hit something and caused 3 floodings. Shot down 4 aircraft, destroyed 3 ships, set 5 fires, and got 1 cap. 2 dev strikes. So, really did my best. Ended up on top of the leaderboard by quite a bit, right behind or right ahead of our Alaska, who got a Confederate. Kind of surprised I didn't, but I think you have to hit a lot of different ships, and I guess I didn't spread out the damage enough. Alright, so dev strikes were on the Baltimore and the Shores with my torpedoes. And then I cut down the Scon with my guns. Came close on the Pommern. And then worked hard on the Georgia. Also did a little damage to the Jean Bart. And then I threw out a total of 440 shells connected with 204. So hitting right around 50%. And wish I was doing better, but that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, caused over 62,000 damage on spotting, so that was like 1 or 2 of those cruisers that were out there. Tanked 761,000 in potential damage, so that's all the damage that I didn't take, but things were aimed at me. Okay, well, bummer. Okay, still made 338, almost 339,000 in credits. 946 free XP, 230 Elite Commander XP to help out my other captains that I'm grinding up. And then 4,588 in Commander XP for this captain. Alright, so this is Kitakaze. She has 2 gun turrets up front with 2 barrels each, and 2 in the back, also with 2 barrels each. Built a lot like the Akazuki that I've been using quite a bit also. And their firing rate is 3 seconds, just like Akazuki. Maximum range, though, 14.5. And then one of the differences is in her torps. Now, her torps are also midships, just like on Akazuki. But I get a little bit of a choice with my torps, and we'll look into that when we look at the equipment build out. But I get a total of 6 torps, and I have set them for 12-kilometer range with 67 knots speed. So they did some good work for me. All right, let's take a look at this captain. It's only a 14-pointer. I put my really good captain in the Hariguma, which is the tier 10 that Kitakaze is going to grow up to be next year. And I put Yamamoto Isuruku in Harigumo. But Kitakaze did all right with this particular captain. At 14 points, he is running with my major destroyer skills, preventative maintenance, to help prevent the engines from being knocked out and steering gears from being knocked out, but last stand to keep me moving even when they do get knocked out. Survivability expert to give me uh, quite a bit of extra HP to help me stay alive at the end of the fight. I would have been dead a long time earlier if I didn't have that, but I only had about 500 or so HP. I'm not sure, but I didn't have much left there at the end. The next thing I'm going to get, though, when I get 3 more skill points, is I'll add superintendent. So I'll have that extra smoke, speed boost, and torp reload booster. However, I have what I consider 2 major essentials for my destroyers. I'm running an RPF, radio locate. That helped me find the nearest ships, and I was able to have guns ready when we saw that other DD and get shots on him before he could really be ready for me. I'm also running Concealment Expert. That brought my detectability down to 6.1, which is pleasantly low for a Tier 9 gunboat. Alright, so I've got the only guns that are available on Kitakaze. I am running hull B, which is a requirement really to be playing in randoms. You don't want to be out there in hull A. I'd have only 19,350 hit points, for instance, and I would have been dead probably halfway through the battle. But at 23,850, I had a little bit more to work with. So I get 3 choices with my torpedoes. The Type 93 Mod 2 is only slightly quicker on the reload time, but it only gets 10K on its torpedoes. And at Tier 10, I'm running into a lot of radar. This is a Tier 9 cruiser, but I see Tier 10 and super ships quite a bit when I drive Kitakaze. And so I bumped it up to the Type 93 Mod 3, which gives me 12K torpedoes. And the damage that I get is quite a bit more, as well as, well, it has the same speed, but that extra damage makes a big difference too. Now, if I was very brave and had better detect, I might have gone for the Type F3 torpedoes. Now, the reload time is 14 seconds shorter, which is still a long time. It's still 2.5 minutes, but only 8K range. That's pretty scary to work with. That's just outside my detect range. And if I'm not careful, I'd get caught in some German ship's hydro, and radar, everybody's radar would be able to catch me then. Maximum damage is a lot lower, but the speed is very, very fast at 76 knots. So there is that, but it just wasn't enough to make the difference. So I'll stay with the 12Ks. Alright, so I'm also running the magazine modification 1, which I do not know why I'm running that. For some reason I put that on there way back when. So let's go with this main armaments mod 1 to help prevent my torpedoes and my guns from getting knocked out. I can't even say why I had the magazine modification 1, because I always run the Juliet Charlie det flags. You just have to on a destroyer. It's so common for a destroyer to take one shot and all of a sudden they blow up. Alright, we already talked about all those. So the engine room protection, though, even with the captain skills, it's real easy for the engine or the steering gears to get knocked out. So I run that protection to help reduce those chances. And then aiming systems mod 1 reduces my dispersion, so my shells are hitting closer inside the ellipse that is built into every ship. Different ships, different size ellipses. Mine is A little bit on the smaller side. When I aim, the shells tend to go where I aim. However, at range, they still will sometimes miss just because my shells are a little bit on the loopy side. I do run Concealment Systems Mod 1 that, when combined with the captain skills for concealment, is what brings me down to the 6.1 range. And then finally, Gunfire Control System Mod 1 gives me that extra range, bumps me up by 16%. So I'm able to do my firing at maximum range, which for Kitakaze, maximum range with that built on there is at 14.5 kilometers. So it's not great, but it's destroyer good. All right, normal damage control party, but no heal. However, I do have that smoke generator that I use frequently to try to go dark, get myself out of trouble. And every once in a while I can sit in it, do some farming for damage, like when I was doing a lot of farming on those battleships inside the cap. Then I have engine boost to try to get me out of trouble a little bit quicker. I also use it to jockey back and forth in my smoke when I think maybe torps might be on their way, that I can push myself out of the way a little bit quicker. And then I have torp reload booster, and that is the only thing that makes the very, very slow reload on these torps bearable. So 2.5 minutes is some of the slowest torp reloads in the game, but this gets me reloaded in 5 seconds, and so I can get a second set out there. However, I won't see this reload booster again for another 2.5 minutes either. So that's pretty much guaranteeing, if I use that and my regular torp reload, that I am going to be without torps for at least 2.5 minutes. All right, well, Kitakaze, first time we've seen her in video, but she is quite a deadly thing to see. I wish she could have carried the game, but she did her best.